I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterrBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hello there, Brian Santos here, and I hope you're doing well in quarantine. This is Quarantine with the Stars, and I'm back again to catch up with your favorite celebs to see how they're staying safe and sane in quarantine. Today, I am joined by an incredibly talented singer who competed on American Idol and is also part of the AfterrBuzz family. Please welcome Halle Johnson. Halle, thanks for being here.
Hi, how are you guys doing?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well today. The sun is out. It's beaming through. I'm loving it.
Yes, you look great. The sun, get that natural lighting. I love it. So I'm so excited to jump into this interview and talk about all the things you have going on.
Let's do it.
Perfect. All right, I want to get to know you a little bit better because as a fellow AfterrBuzzer, it's so amazing and inspiring to see you killing it out there. So I want to know your story. How did you get into music and performing, and how did you get to where you are today?
Oh, wow. What a loaded question. All right, so I'm going to condense this for you. So my first introduction to music was when I was about 8 years old. My first instrument was the cello, played that for a few years, orchestras, all that, so much fun. And then I got into classical operatic voice when I was about 11 years old, and I did that for nearly 4 years. And then when I was around, oops, are we still there?
Yeah.
Are we still there? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then when I was around, I want to say roughly 16, I picked up my first guitar and I just started writing my own music within about less than a month of that, and I just kept going.
Amazing. I love that. I understand you also moved around a lot. So has music kind of been like a constant in your life?
I can't say music was a constant in my life, to be honest with you. I didn't even think that I would be doing music as a career. It never really occurred to me until I was really enjoying it, and everything that I initially relied on was just falling through. And music was the only thing that just kept coming back and coming back and coming back. So I thought, all right, I might as well do it now.
Definitely. Well, speaking of music coming back, I'm sure you've seen a lot of artists and entertainers performing on social media, going live on Instagram, all that kind of stuff. So isn't it amazing how we can still kind of connect with all this going on?
It's incredible. I actually even feel more connected now than I was before, because this quarantine is forcing everyone to slow down and go within and really focus on the things that matter to them, including myself, and really taking a look at my career and saying, okay, who do I want to be? How do I get to show up in all of this? What do I get to create? And I realize a lot of fellow artists are having the same conversations with themselves and focusing on putting things out there. There's no more, oh, I have to go do my side hustle, I have to go work, I have to do this, I have to do that. Now it's just, what do you want to do?
Mm-hmm.
And I want to do
Definitely.
music.
Yes. Definitely. There's so many opportunities now, especially like we mentioned, with technology, you can really put everything out there. So, speaking of technology, I know you found a new stage in BIGO Live. So tell me all about that.
Yeah, so I would say roughly about, actually, can you hear me okay? Should I shut the door?
Oh, you're good. There was just passing there. We're good.
yeah, okay, good. So I would say a little over a month ago, I stumbled upon this app. It was a live streaming app. And to be honest with you, between you and me and whoever's watching right now, I felt the quarantine coming before it did. That's why on March 5th, I decided to just check off of all social media and take a break, because I felt something was about to shift in the world. So as soon as it happened, I went, oh, okay, this is what's going on. And I knew that I wanted to do something in the meantime to connect with people. So I started doing this app that I found. It was called BIGO Live. And within the first couple of weeks, I was able to grow thousands and thousands in fan base, people coming through just to watch me perform and have conversations and connect. They share with me as well, having some really authentic and intimate moments. Like I even had a time when I was talking to those that are watching me, and we were like messaging back and forth and asking me about my story, and I just broke down and cried in front of thousands of people that were watching. And I was so proud of myself in that moment of vulnerability. But I also realized that me doing that, being so open with myself, it allowed those who were watching on the other side to be vulnerable with themselves too. And they were saying, oh, I'm breaking down too. So just the reciprocity of it, it's just so amazing. BIGO has become such a blessing in my life as far as being able to connect with people, especially during this time. I just happened to hop on it right before the crisis hit. So, I mean, call it intuition, call it fate, I don't know, but I'm thoroughly enjoying myself.
I definitely think it's fair. I think it's perfect timing, and you're getting your music out there, you're getting your message out there, and I absolutely love it. I'm definitely gonna follow your stream on Vigo next time you go live. So you know, you mentioned quarantine, and you're definitely focusing on that as part of your music. But what else are you doing to kind of keep busy and stay sane?
Whew. Okay, so I actually had myself on a self quarantine for about 4 or 5 months prior to all this happening. I was keeping to myself. I wasn't going out. I wasn't doing anything with anyone. I was just working. And most of the time I work from home because I do music and work in entertainment full time. So I'm either working from home or on set or doing something, right? So by the time I was ready to come out of the quarantine, everybody was forced into it. So I was thinking to myself, but I was thoroughly confused. I was like, but I wanted to come out now. So I've had to create ways to be really innovative with my hermit mode. Because before I was doing all these things like inner work and listening to folks like Les Brown, Abraham Hicks, things like that, and doing writing and journaling and just like purging things in me that don't serve me anymore. I was doing all that, the journaling and the going out in nature, and this is not, I was already doing all of that. So it's being in quarantine, I get to do it again. But this time I'm being even more intentional about it, creating new ways to be innovative. Like the other day, for instance, I found a park nearby that was still open. So I decided to take my book with me, The Four Agreements, and go read it there. And I took my guitar as well. And I was serenading myself, but I didn't realize that I was serenading the people around me too. There's a few people that came up to me, of course, with their masks on, like dark people, like, life was so beautiful. And it's just so touching to see everybody enjoying themselves in nature. It feels like we're all getting back to who we originally are as human beings and connecting. So I don't know if that answers your question. I realized I went off in a bit of a tangent because I got excited about it. But in short, I am taking my times of stoicism and inner work and learning and just refocusing on that and centering myself on that, because I know that once this quarantine is over, life is about to get really busy on my end. So I'm just excited to have this slow period. I feel blessed for it. Mark my words from now. All right, I'm probably going to be complaining to you and saying, I need a break.
Yeah, next time I have you on, we'll be talking about what you're doing after quarantine. I love that.
And I'll be like, wait, what? What? I don't know who I am today.
Amazing. Let's talk now about Idol. That is, you know, so amazing that you were able to get on American Idol and you're on season 16. So just tell me all about that. Tell me about your experience and some of your favorite parts of that.
Yeah, so Idol was such an interesting and fun and really testing journey for me. I ended up on Idol because they heard about my story, the producers there, and they asked me to come in and meet with them. And after I sang for them and did an interview and whatnot, they brought me in to audition for the show, and then I moved forward. I went to Hollywood Week, made it to the top 100. It was like the most intense experience that I did not see coming. Because the thing is I had worked behind the scenes on a few stuff, because I worked for the Grammys a few years prior to that. So I was used to being within the industry on the business side, but now to do it as an artist, it was, man, it's not for the lightest of hearts, I'll tell you that much, because it's a lot of work. You're constantly under cameras, you're constantly having conversations with people, you're constantly learning songs, and then at the same time you're around a group of people that want to accomplish similar things as you. So it's really important to make friends. Otherwise, everyone will start to feel like competition. Thankfully, I didn't have that experience because I tend to attract people that are similar to me, and we just were really loving. And majority, if not all, the contestants were like that for me. I had a really great experience interacting with the judges and getting to know them as much as I could. And I went as far as I felt like what was best for me, just because I knew there was other things I wanted to do. And I realized that the show just was no longer a good fit for me. So I went as far as I did. And I'm really grateful. It's opened up so many doors for me as far as my career is concerned, because not only do I sing, but I also play guitar and I also write, and I've been able now to write for other labels, other artists, and things like that. Now I'm focusing on my EP, and then also it's helped me out with my acting and my modeling as well. Like I said, just opening doors, because now I'm the kid from American Idol.
Yes.
So I'm really, really grateful for it. I would tell anyone who is interested in giving a shot, do it. Definitely do it, because you never really know what you can accomplish unless you put yourself out there, for sure.
Amazing. I love that. That's perfect. I was actually going to ask you what advice you have for people trying to break in, and that's perfect. Just do it. Just go for it, and it'll all fall into place. I love that.
Yeah, and I would love to answer that question too. My biggest advice for someone who wants to quote unquote break into the industry, be yourself. And I know this sounds so cheesy, but let me elaborate. There's so many people in the industry that are constantly trying to chase trends and trying to be the next Beyonce, the next Bruno Mars, blah, blah, blah. We don't need that. We need the next you, and focusing on what you bring to the table and what makes you unique. And the ingredients is you want your sound to be familiar yet different. And the only way you're going to do that is if you figure out what works for you. So
I love that. Perfect advice. So fun, so amazing, so inspiring. I'm literally so inspired by you, your journey and where you are now, and the fact that you're dabbling in so many different aspects of entertainment and thriving in it is so inspiring to see. So shout out to you. So amazing. I love it.
It's okay. My stage name is Hallelujah. So you can
love it.
Yeah.
Perfect. I love that. Oh my gosh. All right, let's talk real quick too. We mentioned Idol, but I really want to talk about what they're doing now. So I'm not sure if you've heard, but they're actually going back going to do live shows, but virtually. So all of their contestants will be performing from home, which is super, super interesting. I definitely want to see how that goes. What are your thoughts about that? Like, would you be open to doing something like that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's incredible. I think that's amazing. The only thing that I would say would be a bit of a caveat is I hope that they even out the playing field and provide all the contestants with the same equipment and the best sound mixing, because it wouldn't be fair if one contestant has like thousands and thousands of dollars worth of great sound and lighting and video equipment, and the next one doesn't but still has an amazing voice and amazing story. So my only thought on that one is I really hope that they level the playing field so that everyone gets a really good shot at sounding and looking their best for the show.
Absolutely. I believe I have heard that they are kind of doing that. They brought in, producers to kind of even the playing field, which was definitely a huge thing because, like you said, we would want everyone to get a fair shake and see how this all plays out. So I believe they did air actually this week, and they're continuing to do that. So I definitely want to see more of it.
Beautiful. I love it.
Amazing. All right. Before we go, is there anything else you want to shout out, promote, talk about?
One more time. I'm sorry. There was a car that
You're good. Anything you want to shout out, promote, what you're working on, let us know.
Yeah, so even though this lockdown is going on, I've still been in the studio working on my EP. I have a song that's going to be coming out soon called Inside. And then I also have another song that's already completely done, starting the promotions this month. And then it's going to be released next month. It's called I'll Take You Home. And I'm super, super excited for this EP. I'm super excited for these singles. I really feel like they're going to relate to the masses. I wanted to finally write something that was universal, and I've had some amazing producers and songwriters with me on this song, so I'm excited to share it with you.
I'm excited to hear it. I think that's a perfect way for us to end. Halle, thank you so much for joining me. It was an absolute pleasure. Can't wait to see more of what you're doing. Again, so inspiring as a fellow AfterRBuzzer and just killing it in the music industry. So love that. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Halle, where can people find you on social media?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can find me on Instagram, this Hallelujah, THISHALLELUJH.
Amazing. And you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok at the Brian Santos. Again, it's been Quarantine with the Stars. It's been amazing talking to you, Halle. Love your music. Can't wait to hear more of you. We will see you all next time. Bye.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.